On this first episode here on the Wilbur and Gold Show, I tell you what changed the game for me. So welcome to my first ever podcast. I'm so fucking thrilled to have you in. This has been a long time coming for me, and I've wanted to do a podcast or something like this since I was little, if I'm being completely honest. And I'm just, honestly, it's been too long of a wait till I've finally done it. But I'm here now. We're here now, and I'm thrilled to have whoever is watching this in, and I hope we can build us a great community here. And I hope this is the start of something just fun. This podcast, just very quickly, it's going to be, for the longest time, I tried to figure out what I wanted this podcast to be. Do I want it to be about sports? Do I want it to be, because I love sports, I love Star Wars, I love self-improvement. There's so many aspects to me. And then I decided, you know what? This rock that we live on called Earth, it is way too vast. It is way too fucking awesome for me to box this into one niche or niche. I don't know how the fuck you even say the word. But it's just, this show is going to be about whatever the fuck we want it to be about. That's right, us. This is going to be whatever we want it to be. And so I'm looking forward to, from here on out, hearing from an audience member, the audience in general, and just hearing, what do you guys want to talk about? What do you guys want to hear me talk about? What's going on? So that's enough of that, and we're actually going to get into what this episode's actually about, which is, a lot of people, they know me and they see me now for how I am, which is a jolly guy. I love to laugh. I love to cut up, and, it's hard for me to even believe I might even have one serious bone in my body, and those closest to me probably know that when I'm being 100% myself. But, it wasn't that way about a year and a half ago, and that's kind of what I'm here to talk about today, because I feel like this could bring if this could bring value to one person, it would be worth it. So, about a year and a half ago, it was night and day to what you see right now. First of all, I was 20 pounds heavier than I am now. That's just in the physical realm. But as far as, my mental state, I was in some depression, some anxiety, and just overthinking everything, too much in my head. And, that might be kind of hard to believe for a lot of you because, you've seen how I am now. And I went through a period, this was mainly over the summer of last year that I was really dealing with this heavy. And I know a lot of people they've talked about how I've really come out of my shell in the last year. When I got back for school last year, it would have been going into the fall, people are like, what the hell happened to you? Like, who is this? Like, you're the 2.0 version of who you used to be like. And I mean, obviously, it was great to hear that, but they didn't see the shit that led to that transformation. They did not see what took place for that. And as difficult as it was, I would not trade it because it led me to this exact moment. And I don't know exactly what specifically started that shit. It was some ego, a lot of ego was involved, a lot of just trying to create a situation in my head that would make me feel good and okay, as opposed to actually getting into reality and living. And so many of us deal with that shit. We try to create a great situation in our head, but then when shit goes on out of reality that doesn't match that model, that's when we feel anxiety, that's when we feel depression, and that's when we get all lost in it and out of whack. You hear people talk about how the mental side of things is so important. I have heard that my entire life, mostly from my dad, if I'm being completely honest. But, I grew up playing baseball, and so, in sports, we hear that all the time, the mental game. You hear it in damn near everything. But you know why? Because it is so true. And until you actually experience and play with it, so to speak, for yourself and actually figure that out, I don't think you can get it. What completely changed the game for me, the moment, and it took a while to figure it out, but the moment I felt a switch was when I heard it's a spiritual guru, Michael Singer. He was talking with Oprah, actually. Don't judge. It was a good piece. When he said, you are not your mind, you are not your body, You are not these negative emotions or positive emotions that you're feeling. It's something you experience. That changed everything. See, what happened is I was so lost in and this is what happens for all of us when we start overthinking something or start to think we're being down on ourselves. It's just the mind, but the problem is when those thoughts and emotions pop up in front of us right in our fucking face, we don't want to experience it because it doesn't feel pleasant. So we suppress it. And what you don't know is all those thoughts and negative emotions, that is shit we have stored from the past. It's shit that we've experienced in the past that we could not handle or did not like or did not agree with what we thought we wanted to happen. So we suppressed it and tried to push it away instead of really experiencing it and feeling it for what it actually was. And if we would have done that in the moment when whatever it was happened, we would have been that much better off, that much more whole, and we wouldn't have this shit going on internally. But we have to learn this over time, as I did and as all of us do. And we have to realize that all life is a series of experiences that we are supposed to have. Every second is an experience to be had. It might be pleasant, it might not be pleasant, but it's all in how you, it's like the old saying, life is not what happens to you. A very small portion is what happens to you, but the most important thing is how do you react to what happens to you. That's what that is. It is no different. I don't want to get too religious on you. I know my beliefs. I'm Christian. I'll just go ahead and put it out there. In the Bible, Philippians chapter 4, I don't know what verse it is, but when God says, be anxious for nothing, this is what he's talking about. When you stay open and relax to every single experience, all of them, whether you think you wanted it to happen or not, stay open, and I promise you, you will always know what to do. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and tell you every experience is pleasant, because it's not. There's lower energy, there's higher energy. Everything, every person, every living being has its nature. When you hear people talk about good vibes, I believe that shit. Everything has its nature, its vibration, the way it makes you feel. And you know how I can prove this to you? Okay, I guarantee you all of us can think of a time when we were either in love with somebody, we were excited about something that was about to happen, and we just felt that rush of energy coming through. We just could not wait. On the flip side of that, we've all had that experience or number of experiences where we felt something that wasn't pleasant. Fear, anxiety, depression. We lost at something. Something didn't go how we wanted it to, and we felt almost like a cold sweat. That's what that is. But if you would relax in the face of that and just absorb it and feel it, you would be that much better for the next time some shit like that happened. And we would continue to grow as we are supposed to grow. We are not created to think we suck. We're not created to think that way. We do suck. We suck at things, but you keep doing it over and over, you get better at it. That's how life works. In a weird way, anytime that negativity and that, whether it's a negative thought, a negative emotion from the past that pops up because something triggered it, or just a situation that didn't go well, in a weird way, at this point, I actually kind of get hyped when I feel that because I know I'm getting ready to take another step. I'm going to leave this last thing with you. We have all heard the term stay present, stay in the moment. But do we necessarily know how to do it? Now, it's something that we have all done. Maybe we didn't realize we did it. But next time, I want you to try this and continue to try it, because this is what staying open to the experience actually means. The next time you feel a negative thought pop in your face, a negative emotion, you feel that cold sweat coming on, or just something outside goes wrong or goes away you didn't particularly want it to go, it's not pleasant, this is what I want you to do. You feel that emotion. And then I just want you to look straight ahead at what's actually in front of you. And you know what? This is especially important when you're just going on about your day and something random. It's not even a bad situation that actually happened to you. It's just something random that popped up and triggered a negative thought or a negative emotion about something that could have happened 10, 20 years ago that you held on to because you couldn't handle it. This is what you do, especially in that situation. Look straight ahead, right in front of you, at reality of what's in front of you. Get absorbed in that for a minute or two, tops. And then I want you to tell me if that negative emotion is still as strong as it was, or if it's even there at all. When you do that, I promise you that negative half the time you might forget. Like you'll do this and you'll go on about your business, and then a few minutes later you'll be like, oh shit, I'm not even thinking about that anymore. It's not even there. It was all internal. It was, in reality, there was no problem. Everything, all the disturbance and the negative shit that I felt, it was all internal. There's nothing going on out here that is a problem. There's nothing out here going on that I need to deal with right now or take care of. It was all inside. That right there is when you start to get it. When you get out of your head and get into reality. Get into living life the way it was meant to be lived. Taking risks, having fun, meeting new people, doing new things, getting out of your comfort zone and growing. Shit gets pretty fun.